Marcus Aurelius wrote himself the same reminder every single morning. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think, not as a threat, not to scare you into productivity, as a filter, one that strips away everything that doesn't actually matter and leaves only what does. Memento mori. Remember you will die. 2 Latin words carried by Roman generals during victory parades, whispered by monks in medieval monasteries, carved into gravestones for centuries. It sounds morbid, it isn't. The Stoics didn't use it to create fear. They used it as a tool, a way of cutting through the noise of daily life to see what's actually urgent and what only feels urgent. Here's the strange part. Most people avoid thinking about death entirely, and that avoidance, not the thought itself, is what actually causes the anxiety. Psychologists call this terror management theory. The less we consciously process mortality, the more it operates underneath everything, driving decisions we don't understand, urgency we can't explain, dissatisfaction that has no clear source. Marcus Aurelius did the opposite. Every morning, before doing anything else, he reminded himself that the day could be his last, not to panic, to prioritize. He wrote it down in what we now call Meditations, a private journal never meant for publication, which makes it more honest than almost any philosophy text in history. But there's a second part to this practice that almost nobody talks about, and it's the part that actually changes behavior. The Stoics didn't just think about death in the abstract. Seneca went further. He suggested counting, literally counting the days you have left based on average life expectancy and watching that number shrink in real time. It sounds extreme, but there's a reason it works. Abstract mortality is easy to ignore. A number going down every single day is not. Try it for 1 week. Count the days. Watch how fast a wasted afternoon starts to feel different. Steve Jobs referenced this exact idea in one of the most quoted commencement speeches in history. He said that remembering he'd be dead soon was the most important tool he ever used to make big decisions. Because almost everything, external expectations, pride, fear of failure, falls away in the face of death, leaving only what's truly important. He wasn't inventing something new. He was rediscovering what Stoics had already known for 2,000 years. So how do you actually use this without it turning into anxiety instead of clarity? First, use it as a filter, not a spiral. When you're deciding whether something matters, ask, would this matter if I only had a year left? A month? If the answer is no, that's information, not doom. Second, apply it to grudges specifically. Almost every argument you're holding on to right now would dissolve instantly if you remembered how limited your time with that person actually is. Third, apply it to comfort. The Stoics believed most people don't fear death itself. They fear never having really lived. Memento mori isn't about death. It's about making sure that fear never becomes true. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, fought wars, buried his own children. And still, every single morning, he came back to the same line, written only for himself. You could leave life right now, not as a warning, as permission to stop postponing the parts of your life that actually matter. If this shifted anything for you today, that was the point. The rest of your time is still yours.